Good morning, everybody. Hello. Good morning. Say good morning to me. I will say good morning to you. Sign on really quick. Jump on really quick. Tag somebody. Tell them Morning Coffee and Me is on. Tag somebody this morning and tell them we are live and in person. Good morning to everybody. Hello. Thank you all for tuning in. As you're jumping on, I want you to tag somebody else this morning and tell them Morning Coffee and Me is on. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Lady Stephanie Mans, good morning to you. Good morning. Hey, Shavela. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Lady Ardreen. Good to see you. Miss you. Good morning to you. Hello, hello. Say good morning to me. I will say good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Good morning, Lady Dion. I see the kingdom is on this morning, up and early. Good morning. Yes, good morning. There's a sound. Hello, Patricia Dawkins. Release the sound. Good morning. Release the sound. I do not own the rights to this music. Good morning, Maisia. Lacey. Hello, everybody. We get started in just probably a minute and a half. So if you're going to say good morning this morning, go ahead and say it now. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. My love, Pastor Darius Harris. Good morning to you. Good morning, Shantae. Hello, everybody. Good morning. As you're coming, I want you to tag, like, and comment. Hey, there is a sound that makes walls fall down. There is a sound. Good morning. Hey, Bree. We got the whole family on today. Yes. The whole man family on today, just about. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. As you're coming on, I want you to tag at least 2 people. Don't be lazy this morning. Use your fingers, put them to work this morning and tag 2. Maybe you want to tag a whole group of people, but tell them Morning Coffee and Me is on and they don't want to miss it. Good morning. Good morning to everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for inviting. Thank you all for taking time out of your morning and your day to tune in this morning. Good morning to everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Hello. Good morning, Minister Jasmine Ware. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Leanna Denise, good morning to you. Hey, there is a name. Do y'all know what that name is? That makes demons flee. There is a name that makes, hey, release the name. Good morning. Release the name. His name is Jesus. Jesus, Jesus. Good morning, Paige Williams. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. Brianna Ware. Good morning to everybody. Thank you all for tagging, liking, and coming in this morning. Listen, we're getting ready to talk. We're getting ready to share. We're getting ready to converse. We're getting ready to give you some information, maybe even confirmation for some of you all. But you're tuned in to Morning Coffee and Me. I'm Pastor Latoya Harris. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, Tasha Cobbs, thank you. We appreciate you for your service on this morning. We appreciate Tasha Cobbs for her service on this morning. Release the name Jesus. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to get started. And I just want to take a few moments of your time to power you up, to lift you up. Yes, good morning to everyone. Thank you all so much. The topic for today, we're getting ready to move into it. And basically, we have been talking about handling our emotions. Last Tuesday, we talked about emotions. Thursday, we talked about emotions. If you did not get to see it, you need to go back and watch the replay of emotions. Emotions. We talked about all emotions are not bad. You have positive emotions, you have negative emotions, and how to balance out your emotions. Here goes something you can take and you can write down this morning. Good morning to everyone who's tuning in. And if you're just jumping on again, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor and whoever else a favor and allow them to tag them and allow them to tune in on this morning. But emotions, and I want somebody to catch this if you're writing, taking mental notes, or if you have actual physical notes this morning. I want you to write this down, and it is, I have emotions, but my emotions do not have me. And that's powerful in itself. I have emotions, but my emotions do not have me. What does that mean? It means that it allows you to be a human being. It allows you to be mad at times, frustrated at times, distracted at times, intimidated at times, fearful at times, indecisive at times, want to do at times, don't want to do at times. It allows you to be a human being. It basically says, I am human. When you stop feeling and your emotions do not work anymore, you are in a very dark place. I'm going to be honest. When you become numb, I'm not talking about ignoring things that you need to benefit for your mental health, but when you become numb to life and you just don't care anymore, you don't feel anymore. Anybody ever been there before? You don't have to disclose yourself if you don't want to. Hello, Lady Gwen, good to see you this morning. Good morning, Katrina. Good morning, everyone who's tuning in. Hey, Tiffany. Thank y'all for writing that so I can post it. I have emotions, but my emotions do not have me. There is a big difference. When you say I have emotions, you're basically saying I give myself the permission to feel. I give myself the permission to have conviction. You are in a very dangerous place if you do not have conviction. If you can do things and you feel nothing about it. If you can hurt people and you feel nothing about it. If you can say things and you just don't even care. I mean, if you can murder somebody, you just absolutely, you don't feel and you don't care. That is a major, major problem. And there is a difference. The difference is I have emotions, which means I allow myself the opportunity to feel whatever I'm feeling at that particular moment. Because if you do not allow yourself the opportunity to feel, you will internalize it. You will not feel like, well, I'm getting out of this because I don't feel. No, you're just not expressing what you feel that is taking place on the inside. And so eventually you're going to have to deal with those feelings because you have not learned how to properly filter. Am I helping anybody today, or is this too natural for you guys? Y'all want to hear about houses and cars and things of that nature? Is this too natural for you all? I started on last Tuesday and I asked y'all a simple question. I said, do y'all really want to hear? Do you really want to hear? Do you really want to hear what we're getting ready to talk about? And most of y'all say yes, yes, yes. So I'm going to ask you all again today. Do you really want to hear what God is saying to you? We are talking about putting our emotions in balance, putting our emotions in place. And then there are times when you cannot successfully do this yourself, that God sends us help through the word. He sends us help through counselors. He sends us help through individuals we may not know and we've just met. He will send us all types of help to help us filter our emotions. He will send you helps through doctors. Y'all better listen today. He'll send you help through a holistic approach. There are several things that even as believers, I believe sometimes we stop. We're not extensive in our recovery. We don't become extensive in our research of recovery. We use church as a narcotic. Am I talking to anybody? To cover our feelings and to cover our emotions. And when church is over, after we have jumped and after we have shouted, after we have received a prophetic word, and after we have went to a whole nother place, and we have to come down and actually deal with life and deal with reality and deal with our family and deal with our loved ones and deal with our jobs and deal with the real meat of the matter. There are times when we come out of the spirit and our emotions overtake us and we don't have a place to pour. We don't have a place to filter. We don't have a place where we can recover from our feelings or our emotions. And so I just want to continue to talk about that on today because I felt led from last week to extend it over today because somebody needs a little more help, We need more help, and we need to talk about and delve into this a little bit deeper on today. And there is a word I want to introduce to you for time's sake, because I have about another 20 minutes on here. For time's sake, there was a word I want to introduce to you today. Forgive for those of you all who are taking notes, and that word is emotional intelligence. Most people want to be intelligent, I will hope so, in other areas of their life. They want to be the most smartest, or the smartest individual in their circle or in their group. They want to know it all. But there is a term called emotional intelligence. If someone could take your fingers and write that down just for a moment, I'm going to post it on the screen. Emotional intelligence. I want someone to grab it really quick. Let me catch up with your comments on today. Good morning to everyone who's tuned in. Thank you so much, Dina. Emotional intelligence. Most of us, we do not delve or even have a desire to be emotionally intelligent. We don't crave to be emotionally intelligent. We want to say, I have feelings, and I have a right to have my feelings, and I have a right to act the way I'm acting, and I have a right to respond the way I respond, and I can have my emotions, and if you don't like the way I respond, and that's your problem. This is me, and this is my personality. I want to help those people. I want to help those men and women who use how you feel as an excuse to remain the same. Y'all don't want to talk to me this morning, but I'm going to talk to y'all who have decided to tune in anyways. If you're just jumping on, I want you to like, comment, and I want you to tag your best friend. I want you to tag your bestie. I want you to tag somebody into Morning Coffee and Me on this morning. Emotional intelligence. Most people do not desire to be emotionally intelligent. They do not desire to put their feelings and their emotions in check, because they stop at the fact, I have emotions, but they don't finish the next part of that, and that is, my emotions do not have me. My emotions will not make me make irrational decisions. My emotions will not make me commit to relationships that I know is not healthy for me. My emotions will not make me act out in anger when I know I can act totally different. My emotions, emotionally intelligent. Most of us, we want to be educational, intelligent. We want to be book smart, or we want to know the Bible, and all of that is great. But there is an area that literally allows most relationships to stick. Y'all better catch, and most relationships to work, is when you know how to handle your emotions, and when you don't say everything that you feel like you should say at the moment, and you learn how to have a filter. My issue, and I'm going to tell you what emotional intelligence is, but my issue with a lot of people is, we love to filter. We are in a generation who filter our pictures, we filter our lives, which means we put up fake images, and we want something to look better than what it really is. We thrive off of filters. Are y'all talking today? We thrive off of people thinking we look a certain way. I have used filters before on my pictures. I'm not going to sit up here and lie, but my whole life is not filtered. And you have some people who live off a false reality. The only way that they can keep moving is if they can continue to trick people into believing who they think, or who they're portraying to be. Emotionally intelligence will break down that, and would allow you to deal with your emotions effectively and intelligently. Most people, they want filters, but you, in order to be emotionally intelligent, not just filters on your life, or filters on your pictures, or making something look I call it manipulative behavior, making something look like something that it's really not. Emotional intelligence, for those of you all who are following me on this morning, and you're not just on Morning Coffee to get a prophecy, or you're not on here just to get hype, but you are on here to receive help, instructions, and directions. I'm talking directly to you on this morning. Emotional intelligence, from the Webster Dictionary, basically says it is the capacity to be aware. It is the capacity to be aware of, or control and express one's emotions, and to be able to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. Emotional intelligence is the key to both personal and professional success. Y'all don't want to hear, because y'all want to run this morning. but we're going to get there if y'all just hold on just a moment. The emotional intelligence says it is the capacity, it is the ability, it is what the container, it is the length or the stretch of the amount of something that can be held. It is the capacity to be aware of or control, be able, the capacity to be aware of your emotions, not just aware of your emotions, but the capacity to control your emotions. And that's emotional intelligence. It's basically saying, I have emotions, but my emotions do not, and my feelings do not have me. It is the ability to express your emotions in a very mature manner. Let's give you an example, because I feel like just talking the way I'm talking right now. Let's give an example. Somebody offended you. Somebody said something about you that wasn't true, and they don't know that you know that they said these things, and they're supposed to be somebody you trust or someone that you're close to. Emotional, not saying you have to address every issue, but if this is someone you have placed trust in, and you have put them in a place to be a loyal person or a loyal friend or whatever the case may be, this is just an example, and they do something or offend you, emotional intelligence will handle the situation totally different than a person who does not have control of their emotions. A person who does not have control of their emotions and their feelings, this is how they will handle that situation. They will go to everyone else besides the person they need to address. They will talk to everyone else first about how this individual or this group or whatever, this person has offended them and harmed them, because they are not emotionally intelligent. They are not mature enough to go to the individual and to basically call them out, to call them up, and basically have an adult mature conversation about their offense. They start throwing out on Facebook, y'all don't want to talk right today, but I'm gonna keep moving anyways. Good morning, Joanda. They're gonna get on Facebook, they're gonna start throwing rocks and hiding their hands. It versus being emotionally intelligent to be able to say, I have these feelings and I know I have these feelings. So every feeling don't need to be talked out. But in this case, because this is someone I trusted, this is someone that I deem to be loyal, or I've been loyal to. This is someone that I've invested in. This is someone that I've let into a part of my life and a part of my space. And so instead of me over here festering in my feelings and getting mad and getting upset and throwing out things and hoping that they catch my messages or your messages on Facebook and hear what you're saying, when you're emotionally intelligent, you get yourself up and you make a phone call, or you have a dinner meeting or a lunch meeting or something, and you talk to them like a mature individual, and you let them know. And the way, I'm just trying to help somebody just for a few seconds, the way you handle that is, listen, I'm not telling you that I believe everything that everyone say, but I am letting you know what I heard. And I want to let you know that I'm going to give you the opportunity to speak on your behalf, whether it was said or whether it was done or whether it happened, whatever the case may be. Instead of me assuming that you said it, instead of me assuming that you've done it, I'm going to be emotionally intelligent, and I'm going to try my best to have a mature conversation with you and basically let you know I was offended by something that I heard. I was offended by something that was done. And now I'm giving you the opportunity to communicate like a mature adult and give your answers, and let us reason and come together. Let us make peace with all men. And I've given you the opportunity. Now, that is what I just gave you, an emotionally intelligent response. But an unintelligent response would have been what I've already told you, to go to everybody else and say how you felt, and I'm mad and I'm sad, I'm upset, they hurt me. You have not had one conversation with the person who offended you. You have not had one conversation with the group. You have not had one effective communication. So it's okay to feel betrayed. It's okay to feel rejected. It's okay to feel like someone intentionally tried to harm you, but you don't allow those emotions emotions to literally ruin a relationship that could possibly bless your life. I'm getting off of Facebook Live because y'all not responding because you don't want to listen to what I'm saying today. You could lose very, very good, valuable relationships if you do not know how to be emotionally intelligent. You can lose some very valuable people. Now you can go on with your life and be great all you want to be, and that's your business, but it will not ever replace the people who were genuinely supporters and investors of who you are or whatever God has called you to be. You can never replace a loyal person. You could never. And so it's important to have emotional intelligence so that you can decipher properly. I'm trying to help you all not just to be better ministers or preachers or be better, whatever you're trying to succeed in. We as a people, we as believers need to be better in interpersonal relationships. We need to be better in relationships on our jobs, in our families. And in order to do that, we have to be emotionally intelligent. You do not have to be spiritual to be emotionally intelligent. Now, you may have to go pray and say, Lord, help my emotions so I do not slap this person. Help me, God, so I do not say what I really want to say. Let me filter my thoughts and my emotions so I can keep my job. Y'all better talk right today. Lord, please give. I pray for emotional intelligence that I do not respond the way I really feel like I want to respond. And so emotionally, to be emotionally intelligent will allow you to stop and have a woosah moment and to say, I have emotions, but emotions don't have me. You don't deserve me losing my energy. You don't deserve, or the individual or the situation does not deserve that much power and energy out of you. It does not deserve you raising your blood pressure. It does not deserve you stressing yourself out. It does not deserve you giving yourself stroke, heart attack, sicknesses, and disease because you do not know how to internalize, do not know how to literally use your emotions and become emotionally intelligent. It means that it is the key. It is one of the keys to both personal and professional success. Personal and professional success. You're upset at somebody that may not even know that you're upset. You got an ought against an individual that may not even know that they offended you. You've ended a relationship that could have been beneficial to you because you got all in your feelings and you have not learned how to handle your emotions. So y'all get my drift today? Do y'all get what I'm saying today? Someone said, hello, Valerie. Good morning, Pastor. You're speaking the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying today? It says, do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? I need to let you know that it is not all spiritual. Some people want to stay in the spirit so they don't have to deal with reality. They want to stay in a spooky place. And I'm not saying spiritual realm with God is spooky, but I'm just saying some people are spooky. They have to have all of these antics and have to have all of these things where they cannot even function in reality. I'm bringing you down to let you function in reality, to let you know that your emotions is what's ruining your relationships. Your unbalanced emotions is what's causing people to walk out of your life, don't want to deal with you because you do not know how to handle your emotions. One day you up, one day you down, one day you for them, one day you against them, one day you with them. And even Jesus had emotionally unstable people in his life. He says one day they'll say your Lord, your Lord, your Lord, Savior, Savior, King, King. And then the next they're saying crucify him out of the same mouth. The same person that brought miracles and the same person that healed bodies when he was in trouble. Those were the same people who said, Hosanna, Hosanna. Those same people who came out of their same mouth, their same breath, their same tongue. Those same people said, crucify him, crucify him. So you will find people in your life who will be for you and try to be against you at the same time. But you're going to have to be emotionally intelligent to be able to handle those type of individuals. You cannot call out and you cannot go off on everybody who you feel like is intimidating, everybody who you feel like has a problem with you, everybody who you feel like said this. You don't have time to do that. But what you do have time to do is handle your emotions properly. filter them through the proper lines. Last week, I gave you scriptures on how to filter your emotions. You can go back and you can watch it. But I want to close with this one scripture because I'm getting ready to get off of Facebook Live. And it is John, the 5th chapter. Most of you all have heard this scripture and we've talked about it, but I want to shed a different light or give a different revelation or add to what you already know on today. And that is John, the 5th chapter and the 1st verse. And we're talking about the man who was healed at the pool of Bethesda. But at the 5th verse, it says, after this, there was a feast of Jews. Can somebody write it down so I can post it? There was a feast of Jews that went up to Jerusalem. Now there is in Jerusalem by the sheep gate a pool, which is called, let me get right here, a pool which is called in Hebrew Bethesda, having 5 porches. Y'all better hold on to that. 5 porches. Hold on to that, please. 5 porches. 5 porches. And in these lay a great multitude of sick people, blind people, lame people, paralyzed people, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain time into the pool and stirred the water. Then whoever stepped in first after stirring the water was made well of whatever disease he had. The 5th verse says, now a certain man, we're going to call out a certain man, was there who had an infirmity for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had already been in that condition a long time, he said to him, do you want to be made whole? Do you want to be made well? The question when we're dealing with people who have emotions that are not filtered, who have emotions and they allow their emotions to have them. The question is, are we going to evolve or are we going to repeat? You have 2 realities and you have 2 questions that I just posed to you. I saw this yesterday and it blessed my heart. Are you going to evolve or are you going to repeat? Jesus is stopping and he asks, why would he ask him this question? The only reason someone would ask someone, do you want to be made whole? It's the indication that your deliverance is based upon your will to want to change. Y'all don't want to hear. Your deliverance, your way out, your exit is based upon your desire to want to evolve, your desire to want to exit, your desire to want to become better. Most of us, we call ourselves wanting to change our emotions, our feelings, and let me change my response. Let me change how I interact with people. But the real question is, do you really have a will and a desire to want to be made whole? Do you have a desire to become greater? Do you have a desire to evolve, which means to transform? Do you have a desire to change? Do you have a desire to do better? Because when you apologize, apology is really not effective until there is changed behavior. And we have a lot of people who apologize. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And we wonder why people don't respond anymore when we say sorry. It's because we have not changed our behaviors. Y'all don't want to talk right. We have not changed our behavior. So Jesus stops and says, if you really wanted to be made whole, you would have done something instead of sit here for 38 years. So I'm not going to waste my time, my anointing that God has given me on individuals who really don't want to change, who really say sorry with the intentions of doing the same thing the next day, who apologize for things that they already have made plans to do on the next day within 24 hours, who say sorry, but they don't really want to change their behavior. That is why they continue to stay in that same cycle. And you have people you are in relationship with, whether there's friendships, whether there's loved ones, whatever the case may be. And we have to make a decision to actually say, I want to change. I want to become better. Because if you do not evolve, you will find yourself in an endless negative cycle. If you do not evolve, you'll find yourself sitting there 38 years in the same spot, in the same place, even though the Spirit of God, and it said an angel will come and will stir up the waters, because I don't have time to read the rest of it, and stir up the waters, and people were healed and people were delivered. So this lame man could have had an opportunity. And when Jesus asked him this simple question, he could not give Jesus a yes or no. He could not say, yes, I want to be healed. He had to start giving reasons. And it says he began to say, he said, do you want to be made whole? The sick man answered in the 7th verse, and he said, sir, I have no man to put me in this water, or when the water is stirred. And he gave that first excuse. And then he says, when I do try to move and I step down, somebody else jumps in front of me and they go down in before me. Jesus said, listen, he didn't even address his excuses. He said, rise up, take up your bed and walk. And immediately the man was made well. He took up his bed and he walked. And that day was Sabbath day when he walked. It says the Jews therefore said to him, he was cured, and it is Sabbath. The Jews therefore said to him, who was cured, and it was Sabbath. It was not lawful for you to carry your bed. The point I am trying to make is this man gave every excuse, and Jesus already knew. You've been here 38 years. An angel comes one time a year, come and stir up the water, and you got excuses why you are still in the same place that you are. You have excuses that life's trauma has left you. Well, this happened in my life. Everybody has things that happen in their life, but the difference between you and them is a decision. The difference between you and them is to decide to get out of your negative behavior. The difference between you evolving or staying where you are, that difference is you making a decision to want to do better, to decide to do better, to have healthy emotions, to filter your emotions, to balance out your emotions and not allow your emotions to have you. This man that sat here beside his bed, which means he made his place there, he made his home there. This man, and not only that, he made his bed in a place where everybody else who was lame and everybody else who was sick and everybody else who was going through. See, you never can see your way out if you always surround yourself with things and issues that you're currently dealing with. I don't need a circle of everybody who thinks the same and everybody who's going through the same thing. I need a circle that's filled with people who have already crossed over to the other side, who is trying to become better. This man had 5 ways to exit. The Bible said it, there were 5 porches, and he had 5 ways to get out of what he was in, and he still gave excuses versus getting up from where he was, sliding whatever he had to do, rolling whatever he had to do. I don't know why this man didn't do a stop, drop, roll, move. I don't know why this man didn't roll himself to the edge. You've been there 38 years. Why you just, by the time the angel came, why you just didn't roll yourself in? Why the friends around you didn't want to help you? And see, people, because I got a minute and a half and I'm over my time, people will get tired of assisting people who are not willing to assist themselves. People would get tired of helping people who refuse to help themselves. And so Jesus basically gave him an answer. You where you are, sir, is because you didn't have a will to want to be changed. You've been here 38 years, sir. Do you really want to be healed? Because I got the power to heal you. Jesus has given me, God has given Jesus the power to heal you. I have that, but you saying nobody won't help you. Why won't people help you? Thank you, Charmaine Reeves. I appreciate your fire this morning. Why won't people assist you? Because it's like pulling dead weight. When people do not participate in their own deliverance, when they do not participate in their own success, when they do not participate in their own recovery, it is nothing but a major burden on the back of somebody else who is trying to pull dead weight, who won't even pull their own weight. So even Jesus was like, listen, dude, you've been here for 38 years. Dude, you've been here in this same place for 38 years. and I ask you if you want to be made whole. You don't even know who's standing in front of you. You don't even know. And I'm talking to somebody prophetically who's watching to invest in your business, who's watching to invest in your ministry, who's watching to invest in your family. You don't even know that who's standing before you has your answer or your way out. You don't even know that God is giving you 5 exits, and you're so caught up in who won't help you and who's not there for you. You're so emotionally unbalanced, and you're not being emotionally intelligent that your perception is off. You think everybody is against you and everybody is not for you. And so you don't see your exits. You don't see your way out because you're caught up. Every time I try to move, somebody gets in front of me. Every time I try to go, they don't want to help me. Every time I try to move, listen, you have help right in front of you. You have assistance right in front of you. The door is open in front of you, but your eyes are closed. You got your eyes wide closed, wide shut. God wants to bring you out, and you cannot even see that your answer is standing in front of you. If that man knew that he was getting ready to be healed, he would have, if he knew who was standing in front of him and who had all power, he would have said, yes, sir, I want to be healed. I want to be made whole. I want to be delivered. Which, in fact, Jesus is basically saying your issue is not with other people. Your issue is with your emotions. Your issue is in your mind. If you would have knew that it was Jesus asking you these questions, you would not have given excuses. Well, my mama wasn't there. My daddy wasn't there. My family was not supportive. I didn't have the resources. And every time I tried, it failed. Every time I moved forward, it did not work. Listen, you're going to have to get over yourself with all of these excuses and stop feeling sorry for yourself and surround yourself with some people who will call you out to call you up. Do you really want to be made whole? Do you really want to be delivered? Do you really have a change of mind? Do you really want to get out of your negative cycle? Do you really want to be successful? Because people who really want to be successful, they will sacrifice. People who really want to change, they will sacrifice. And let me tell you something, for while I'm on here and I'm on my little rant for just a moment, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It's not until you decide that you really want to change that you'll start making the changes. Instead, you're going to continue to end in this cycle like this man who sat here for 38 years. You're going to continue to offer everyone excuses in the benefit of thinking that people are going to cater to you because of your victim position. You're gonna stay in that position, hoping somebody gives you a hand down or gives you a hand up because you have a victim mentality. People have a victim mentality because they do not want to do what it takes to change. So they hold on to the trauma because the trauma is what babysits their dysfunction. The trauma is what they use to babysit them being paralyzed. And y'all don't want to talk right to me today. It's what they use to stay where they are for 38 years. It's because of what my family did, what my mama did, what my daddy, and you are paralyzed. You are analyzing every situation instead of taking that situation to God and deciding, no matter what happened to me in my life, in my childhood, no matter what's happening right now, I make a decision to become better. I make a decision to get my emotions together. I make a decision to be successful. I make a decision to be all that God has called me to be. And I refuse to get mad at people who call me up and call me out and hold me accountable for my unaccountable emotions. Yeah, I had to get all of that out. Yes, the trauma babysits your collateral damage. People, and it is so weak to me because everyone has a reason to not become, a reason to stop. Everybody has a reason to stay sitting there for 38 years. Everybody's gone through something that makes them paralyzed and not want to move. Everyone had in life that's a human being has experienced something in their life that should have stopped them, that should have broken them to no repair, that should have made them want to quit on life. Everybody has experienced something in their life. Stop isolating your emotions to only you are dealing with what you're dealing with, because your neighbor may be dealing with the same thing. Jesus was not willing to take excuses from this man. Jesus did not even listen to his excuses as to why He has been in this place for 38 years. Jesus was not even going to go on an emotional roller coaster with what even got you in this condition. Jesus didn't answer any other questions other than, do you want to be healed? Do you want to be made well? Do you want to be whole? Do you really want successful relationships? Do you really want peace? Do you really want what you say you want? Do you really want to become healthier? Because if you want to become healthier, you will do the necessary things that it takes to become healthier. Do you really want to lose the weight? Because if you really want to lose the weight, you will start doing the necessary things that it takes to lose the weight. That's spiritually and that is naturally. Do you really want what you say you want? Because when a person wants something, they will have lack of sleep for it. When they want something, they will become faithful to it. When they want something, they will be consistent. When they want something, they will go after it with every fiber of their being. So Jesus asked this question, do you really want to be made well? I'm not listening to your excuses. He said, take up your bed. I'm not going to even lay hands on you. I'm not going to even prophesy to you. I'm going to tell you, take up your bed and walk. I'm going to tell you, you get rid of your excuses. You pick up what's been holding you. You pick up your bed of affliction, and what was now once holding you, you will now hold it. What was once cradling you, you will now overcome it. What was once a bed of affliction will be your place of victory. And everyone will notice the place where you decided to rest, the place where you decided to give up is the place where God gave you victory. I don't care how long, those of y'all who are listening to me today, you have been where you are. I don't care how long you've been in the situation that you're in. Hear by the Spirit of God that God is speaking to you and God is saying, take up your bed and walk. Leave your excuses where they are. Leave your trauma where it is. Deal with your emotions effectively and become emotionally intelligent. Then and only then will you be made well. Will you be made whole? Will you be successful? Will you be all that God has promised you and destined you to be? Take up your bed. Take up your bed. Pick up your bed. Pick up what's been holding you. Remove the stilts. Remove what's been holding you up. Ooh, remove who's been holding you up. I'm getting off of Facebook Live. Whatever's holding you up, you have no excuse. None. There is no excuse in the world why you should not succeed. I've seen people with lack of limbs succeed. I've seen people with no arms succeed. I've seen people who are burn victims succeed. I've seen people who have cancer succeed. I've seen people who have the worst diagnosis you can think of succeed. I've seen people with no limbs and no hands succeed. You have no excuse not to take up your bed and walk. Do you really want to be whole? Do you really want to be emotionally healthy and emotionally wealthy? Do you really want to be? Do you really want to be? I don't want to hear your story. Do you really want to be? Do you really want to be? Do you really want to be? Listen, I'm stopping myself and we're ending today on Morning Coffee and Me. But if this has blessed you and you know that you are getting up from your bed of affliction, and you know that great is on the other side, and you know that this word was tailor-made just for you, to tell you to get rid of your excuses, not to literally cover up your excuses or cover up why you're where you are, but to uncover where you are and tell you, pick up your covers, pick up your bed and walk. Become more emotionally stable so that your relationships can prosper and grow. Stop apologizing for things that you're not going to change and be intentional about your growth. Be intentional about your progression. Be intentional about succeeding in the area that God has gifted or even anointed you in. If I'm talking to you, I want you to go and seed today. I want you to go and sow. Some people even call it. I'm going to use all of the words, whichever one you want to use. I use the word sow because I believe that when you sow, it is an agricultural word, is a word of harvest. Wherever you sow, that you will reap from what you have sown, from your labor, from your finances, from whatever, your work, the time that you put in. I cannot make this up, but everything that I have, everything of who I am, it comes from, of course, the grace of God, but it comes from me putting in the time and the effort, and you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. If that's you today, I want you to seed a small seed of $30 on today. I want everyone on the live today that is heard under the sound of my voice, and you know that God is calling you out. They're literally calling you up, that you're picking up your bed of affliction. If you know that you are evolving and you're not repeating same cycles, if you know that you are changing by the moment and the minute for the better, that you know that your life is transforming and you are not the person that you used to be, and that the hand of God is melting away anything that is not like God. If that is you, I'm going to ask you to go and sow. I'm going to ask you to go to and give. Those of you all who are looking for a ministry to tithe into, you can tithe as well if you do not have a church home and tithe. I tell everyone that you have a church home, that is where your tithes go. But if you want to sow into what you received today and just simply tell God, I thank you for the woman of God. I thank you for the word of God that I received. I'm going to beckon you. I'm going to ask you to go and put your seed in the ground. There are at least 3 of you all who can sow $100 seed into this word today. I want you to hear by the Spirit of God that God says you are evolving. You are evolving in such a way you will not even recognize yourself. You are evolving in such a way you won't even know who you are when God really gets through with you, and people will not know. The only memory they'll have is the memory of who you were in the past. I see you all giving. I want you to be intentional about your giving. From this point on, if you have not been, I want you to be intentional about where you give, what you give, how you give. I want you to give from your heart. I want you to sow from your heart. And I want you to tell God today, God, I thank you. I may not be required, but God, I simply am giving because I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. If that's you today, I'm going to ask you to go and sow 30. If you don't have 30, I'm going to ask you to sow the best thing that you can. If you want to sow more than that, you want to sow 3,000. I'm not putting a limit on God in this season because God can speak to individuals how he wants to speak to them. I know that he can. But if you know that you are evolving, you are transforming, and you are refusing to repeat negative cycles, some things, and I'm ending with this, some things I'm going to say for myself personally, I do not even have the mental fortitude to repeat. There are some things emotionally, I don't even have the emotional strength to repeat. Is anybody with me today? There are some things that I've experienced that I just cannot afford to experience ever again in life. Ever again in life. If that is you today, you know you are evolving. You're not repeating negative cycles. Put your seed in the ground. I'm waiting on 5 more of you all. I'm waiting on 5 more of you all that God is speaking to directly to you. God is a man of his word, and he's coming to you to say, take up your bed and walk. Be made well, be made whole, every area of your life. But today we're talking about be made well, be made whole in your emotions. God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in to Morning Coffee and Me. Join us on Thursday. Not for sure what we're going to talk about, but even if you were unable to sow and give, you can still find yourself giving by the way of sharing this video. A giver is a giver no matter what, and a giver does not make excuses not to give. When you are a giver, you'll give in any aspect that God has led you to be a giver. That's how it goes. I love you guys. Y'all be blessed. Y'all pray for me, and I'll pray for you.